Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how you can get the output for an independent samples trimmed means test, also known as a Yuen test or a Yuen-Welch test or a Yuen-Dixon test. There are two different variations of this one. Using Python, I'm using, as you can see, Python version 3.12 in a Jupyter notebook. This video will focus on how to obtain the output, not so much if you should or how to actually interpret all the output. It's focusing on these last two. Those are the trimmed means tests because they trim the data. They avoid therefore the normality assumption that is with the student and Welch t-tests. I have separate videos on those if you're interested. I've already loaded in my data, which I used pandas for, and then a data file from my website. I loaded it in as a data frame, and I actually only needed two fields, a categorical field, gender, and a numerical field. In this case I've used grade for that. And from the binary field only two categories were selected, male and female, or from the nominal field, so that making it binary in this case. In a separate video I show you that my own library actually has a function that can generate all the output you need, but in this video I'll first show you how you can use the SciPy library and then show you how you can perhaps even do it without almost any library except for the t distribution. So if you want to use SciPy, it actually has a function t-test independent, so IND. So I can actually, once you've installed SciPy, you can load just that function. It requires the x and the y values, so for each category the data separately. So I first select all the males and then just the numbers of those, and then the same for the female as x and y. Once I have that, I can get the Yuen-Welch variation by setting the equal variances assumption to false. And if I want the Yuen-Dixon one, I can set it to true. Now, the trim parameter is the amount to trim from each side. So in total, we trimmed 10%. And in each case, we get to see the test statistic, the t-value, the p-value, and the degrees of freedom. Now the p-value is probably the most important one, so here and here they're both above the usual threshold of 0.05, which would mean we usually don't reject the null hypothesis and claim that there is no significant difference. If you don't want to use other people's libraries, so then we create a list of the data itself, so we assume that you also just entered the data yourself. And then we get the sample sizes for each of the two, and in total is just the sum of those two. Then we set our trim proportion to 10%, so 5% from each side. Then we're going to do the Yuen-Welch version. The formula for that can be actually found in his 74 article on page 167. And for that we'll actually first need to trim the data. So how many scores are we going to trim? So we multiply the trim proportion by 2 because we want to trim it from each side, multiply it by the grand total of that category, and then round down. So that's what's being done here. Int actually rounds down at least once you have positive integers. So next we determine how many will then be left after the trimming. So we simply remove twice these amounts from each of the counts. And then to perform the trimming, we need to have the data sorted. So here I'm switching from x to be called y1 and y to actually be called y2. And then the trimming is simply the average, or the trimmed mean, sorry, is the average of those that fall in between the two trimmed data sets. So I can simply use a list for that, or actually say, well, I want the scores, and then just from the first one up till the last one minus the amount that got trimmed from each side divided by the total amount that's left after trimming. Then we also need to winterize the data, which means that we replace the ones that got removed with the lowest and highest that didn't get removed. So that's being done in here. I have whole separate videos on winterizing data if you're interested. And then we can actually calculate the winterized mean, which is again taking just your data and then divided by the counts. And then what we need to do is we can calculate the sum of square deviations, and we actually also can use the original data, the trimmed data, and then add the part that's from the ones that got replaced um, with the lowest or highest that wasn't removed. So that's being done in this part, and then the rest is just everything that was originally there already. Then the variance is defined, as you can see over here. It's just this one and then divided by the count minus 1. So that gives us the variances, and then we're almost there. The standard error is then for each of the two we divide it by the counts and then take the square root over that. The test statistic is then fairly straightforward. The difference in those trimmed averages over that standard error, and in this case we get 0.677. The degrees of freedom has this scary looking formula, but we actually have everything for this already, so we can just calculate that. And the degrees of freedom is then quickly calculated by using this formula. We have everything we need for that, so in this case it's 14.32. Finally, we need to know the t-value that corresponds, or sorry, the probability value that corresponds to our t-value with those degrees of freedom. And for that, we will use SciPy's t-distribution. I have a separate videos on if you really don't want to use that, but it's very common to use a more renowned library to actually get those t-values. I wanted two-sided, so that's why I'm using tcdf. I take the absolute value, the degrees of freedom. I subtract it from 1 and multiply it by 2 to get the two-sided version. And in this case, the p-value is 0.509. We saw that earlier with SciPy's own function. If you want the Yuen-Dixon version, then this is actually the formula. Again, we have everything we already need for this, so we can simply fill everything out. And then for the t-value, we use that one instead of the other one. As you can see, it's slightly different. The degrees of freedom is much simpler. It's just the sum minus 2. And in this case, therefore, 37. And then we get that 0.44 that we saw earlier as well with the SciPy function itself. Alright, I know I went a little bit fast over this, so if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And hope this was still helpful. Thank you for watching.